That's good radio.
And so then I said, liquor? I barely know her. Anyway. Oh, are we recording? Oh, shit. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 5 of the Smoke Breaks podcast. I'm Kyle. Joining me are my co-hosts.
Ben.
Hi, I'm Kai.
He is Kai or Andy.
No,
Yes.
I'm just Kai.
He's going as Kai now because
Yeah.
he makes music.
It's my next evolution of
Makes
Pokemon.
music. Yeah. Speaking of which, if you were interested in what that new intro song is, it is actually Kylan's first single, isn't it?
Yes, it is with Rhubarb, also known as Ruben Marek. We made the song in lockdown. Well, no, actually, we didn't make it in lockdown. We made it in summer. Ruben had like 2-week period where he came over, and we just lasted that. We got another song coming out probably this year, so there you go, tickling your balls there.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, a bit of a teaser.
Yeah. We should probably get him on to talk about it at some point once the lockdown's all over and done with.
Yeah, it's just he's
reckon.
stuck in Leeds at the minute, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is he,
Makes it a bit
uni?
hard.
yeah, he's at uni. Yeah, just stuck
Oh,
in Leeds. You know, what I mean, I'm not gonna do my Yorkshire accent because I feel like I'll butcher it again.
Okay, so where do we begin?
Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin,
Armstrong.
and then Kid Cudi.
What do they have in common? They're all men who have been on the moon. I thought it was worth mentioning Kid Cudi's newest album, Man on the Moon 3, The Chosen, because obviously we've already done our Spotify Wrapped for the end of 2020, but this album came out the 11th of December, I believe, so I've been listening to it since then. We're recording this on the 15th of January, I believe, something like that. It's 2021 now.
Time's
16th.
moving weird.
Yeah.
It's the
But I-
16th.
16th.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But I guess seeing as this is the first time we've seen each other, how are your guys' Christmases and New Year's?
Oh, I mean, it was pretty chill. No drinking, no dancing, just music.
Yeah, it was alright.
So-
It was chill.
Yeah,
it
it was very chill.
as good as you can make it.
Yeah,
The
just keep
current
it safe.
situation.
Keeping safe, abiding
Yeah.
by the what is it, the lockdown recommendations, and not abusing what John
Yeah.
LaFondra says to do, not to do.
Yeah.
But I guess, yeah, it's a weird situation. On the plus side, I mean, we've gone from like 1,000 cases, like active cases, which
In
is
Jersey,
1%
that is,
of the total island population.
So clearly,
And we've-
what they're doing at the moment is working.
Yeah, I guess we're down to 260 now.
Yeah.
3,000 vaccinated as well, I believe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
About 3,000, yeah.
Is that
15% of the 80+ population
damn. So is that first jab or is that
must be.
completely done now?
What is the right? I was having this discussion with someone the other day. What is the time period you have? Is it 2 weeks or 12 weeks after you get your second jab?
I think it's meant
What?
to be.
It's like 2 weeks.
I think
Yeah.
it's meant to be 2 or 3 weeks, but I think because they want everyone to get their first jab as quickly as possible, so you're at least half
Mm-hmm.
defended against it.
Yeah.
They're starting to say like 8 to 12 weeks, just so they can run through all of the higher risk 50
Mhm.
plus people, and then get around to us.
And to be fair, if people are getting them at the moment and then they've gone past that whatever 2-3 week period you have to wait before you can start going out or whatever, there's nothing really you can do at the moment anyway. So it's not like you're gonna be able to go out to like all the retail shops and stuff like that. That's still closed. So I think at the moment it's not really changing people's lives too much by having it. I think it's just future proofing really for a couple months down the line when
Yeah.
we are able to go to restaurants and stuff.
Are we? I mean, as a technicality for the guidelines, are we even meant to be in the same room?
We're not.
We're not.
Nice.
We're
And
doing
that
this
is
via
why-
the cloud.
And that is why we are at home doing this via Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry if there's any glitches or lagging.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah,
how it be.
That's the Zoom.
Yeah, because that would be really irresponsible.
Just silent and then speak really fast.
Yeah.
Just like catching up for it. I'll go back to the Kid Cudi thing, because that was a segue. I think it probably would be in my top 3 albums for 2020, even though it came out so late. I feel like I haven't enjoyed a Kid Cudi album that much, like all the way through for quite a few years, because Speeding Bullet to Heaven, I think it was called.
That was shit, apparently.
Yeah,
shat on it.
critics were really against it. I think a lot of his die-hard fans were still really big fans of it, but there was a couple of songs I liked from it, but overall, cohesively, it didn't really work. But I think this album is really, really good. It's a third of his trilogy for the Man on the Moon series, and he did it as he normally does, where he separates it into like 4 different acts, which each have a certain theme, but he still consistently throughout the whole thing has a theme of having
That
issues with anxiety, depression, which is something he's had for the last 10 years. So it still has quite a dark undertone to it, but later on throughout the album, he starts speaking more about hope. Just he has a better outlook and more control over his mental health, which is nice to hear.
I definitely got that vibe. He was kind of almost, he was trying to come off as like almost too human, if you get me. He was exposing what a lot of, US trap artists don't really expose. They're constantly bragging about shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this fucking watch on my wrist costs $400,000, and then suddenly you have him sort of saying like, oh, the darker tales in my mind.
I think that's why his fans have been so die-hard with him over the years, because he is so brutally honest with them. Like, he opens out with a song called Tequila Shots, so you think is going to be like a turn-up track, which it is. The beat is really good and bumpy, but he has lines on it like, tell my mum I'm sorry, and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, he's still not fully in control of his alter ego he calls Mr. Rager.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like one of those things. If you're doing tequila shots, you're usually out on a vibe. Like you're really fucking going for it. Like Ibiza, something like that. But then he's kind of reflecting the darker side. Like not all people are drinking to go out and have a fucking fucking gala.
I was gonna say you summed it up pretty well there. For someone like myself, I don't listen to Cudi that much. I only really know of Kid Cudi Ghost, which I still rate as a perfect album.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And also the old school Getter stuff.
Oh, Memories.
Memories. Also,
I was actually going to say that came out in 2010.
I know.
If you think so.
He's been around for a while. Because what, Day and Night was
2008.
I guess in 2008.
It's still in primary, I swear.
Yeah. Primary school.
Yeah, I think I was.
That was a liquid
We all
days.
just fucked, boy.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that album. It was kind of like the last highlight for 2020 music for me. Still playing it on repeat. I think it's a very, very cohesive album all the way through. Even though he's got separate acts, I think it's still great.
I like the inclusion of Skepta as well in Show Out, because it's less Kid Cudi's bit on it, but it is more the Pop Smoke and Skepta aspect of it, because obviously Pop Smoke is, as of last year, he was murdered, wasn't he? But I quite like the reference when Skepta comes in on the track saying Pop Smoke, Big Smoke, because obviously he's called Big Smoke, with reference to, New York being the Big Apple, London being the Big Smoke. That's what the reference is. So he's kind of taken that as an international title for when he's working with people like A$AP Rocky with Praise the Lord.
Banger. Absolute banger.
When I saw Pop Smoke, Skepta and Cudi on the song, I was so confused at first. I was like, I didn't know how Cudi was going to fit into it, because Skepta and Pop Smoke, they make sense. They're kind of same genre. But Cudi does his little thing. He doesn't try to like take over the song because it's technically on his album. He lets Skepta and Pop Smoke to go for it.
He's making the real bank at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. But
who else features on it? Because I have listened to snippets of it. Does Travis Scott have a feature?
The album.
I swear I heard a little bit of his auto-tune going on.
Quick look. You got Trippie Redd on Rockstar Nights.
Yep.
Phoebe Bridgers.
Oh, she had a great year.
Yeah, that song's actually really good. But apart from that, he doesn't have any other named features. There may be some way he might have like little clips, but he doesn't have them as features.
Does he do the Travis Scott thing where he doesn't name any features, but has people have little snippets? Like in
I need to go back
Birds
through
in
and
the
listen
McKnight.
again, but
I always butcher the name of it. Birds in the McKnight Trap. What's it called?
Birds in the Trap singing McKnight.
Yeah, that's
Where it's just because didn't The Weeknd do that on one of his albums, where he just put no features and then you just have. Or normally, like a couple weeks later, they'll start putting the features in.
Yeah.
Like I know Kanye did that. I'm pretty sure Kanye did that with The Life of Pablo, because nobody knew who Designer was. I remember that specifically from that song, because everyone was like, "Is that Future?" And then a couple weeks later, he comes out and says it is this guy called Designer, which no one had really heard of.
Yeah, that part 2 of Father Stretch My Hand didn't make much sense though, did it?
I thought it was good.
just-
It didn't make sense.
It didn't make
A lot of Kanye stuff doesn't make
Yeah.
sense, but I
Nothing-
actually
yeah.
quite like Life of
Nothing
Pablo.
has to make
I think
sense
it's a
with
great
Kanye.
album. Very underappreciated album.
Yeah, nothing has to make sense with Kanye. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's getting a divorce now as well
Yeah,
from Kim Kardashian.
apparently.
Because he was clapping
For
cheeks
alleged
with...
reasons.
Jeffree Star.
Let's not delve into that too deep.
Yeah, the person that started that rumor is getting sued.
Really?
Yeah, for
Was it just somebody on Twitter or somebody quite
TikTok. I
notable?
I think it was
TikTok.
Yeah,
I saw the original TikTok. It's this girl who's got like quite a good big following. She's like, well, I've been really holding this in for a long time, guys. But Jeffree Star, Kanye West.
because it's I think it's just a defamation suit,
Yeah.
which makes sense. But she's gonna have $1.5 billion, even if she
Yeah,
even if
can
she
you-
gets away with it, the lawyer fees.
Imagine Kanye, you're going through this like life-changing event if Kim is actually getting a divorce from him, and then just the whole internet just starts going, it's because of this, it's because of that, and it's just like you're trying to deal with your whole world kind of crashing down because you know if Kim does split from him, that's gonna is gonna.
Does that
Oh,
make
yeah.
Kanye
Take over his entire life.
pansexual then?
I don't know.
It's just.
But have you seen,
It's just a rumor, isn't it?
Have you
So-
seen the video clip of them? I think they were being interviewed for GQ or something, and they're saying,
No.
"Oh, this was the turning point for them both." And she's like, "Oh, Kanye, I really love our pool," and he's like,
I know exactly what you're
"Okay,"
talking about.
and she's like, "But I've never been in our pool. Isn't that weird?" And he just looks at her like, "You fucking what?"
I
and
bought
then
this
she- and
gaff,
then-
and you're like,
yeah,
if
but-
you
but
think
then-
I'm going in the pool, then you're
but,
stupid.
but then she's just like, but I'd really like a jacuzzi. Can you? And he just turns to the camera and goes, "Can you believe that we don't have a jacuzzi?"
Oh my god! It's even
So
funny when you're like
sassy, so
Kanye. He knows
sassy.
what a first world problem is. He's
Yeah.
just like, fucking chill out. You don't need to.
Yeah. He's just
Okay,
trying to
right.
make music,
Yeah.
preach the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
He's not hurting anyone.
Nah.
But yeah.
But that breakup album gonna be fire.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine if he just goes
It's gonna.
back
It's
to his.
gotta be Yeezus shit, wouldn't it? I feel like it'd just be the most rager beats.
Yeah.
Like him just going through this
4 in the
like
morning,
crazy
and I'm
frantic
zoning, they say
period.
I'm possessed.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. But I guess going back to the Kid Cudi album and Pop Smoke.
Justice.
Justice. The 4 guys who have been charged with this murder have finally faced their trial. So 2 of them are up for life in prison, and 2 of them are facing the death penalty.
Is this in the US?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure what state,
Yeah.
but you know,
Texas. No, it can't be Texas.
I have a feeling it's LA, just because.
LA got the death penalty.
Oh, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah, because it'd have to be one of the ones that have the death penalty, and I honestly don't.
I can
Couldn't name all
only
of
think of Texas for
Yeah.
some reason.
So
I'm pretty sure Texas have the death penalty. I
Mhm.
can't think of anywhere else.
no.
Mm.
America
Yeah, either
weird.
way. Either way, that's
Yeah.
some justice.
So what else is there to talk about? Have you guys seen the new Apple car that's been announced?
I don't think I've actually seen pictures of it, but it's not. The photos weren't released by them, were they? Is it just
No,
like
it's
kind of
always
concept?
been leaked.
Yeah.
Always been
Like
leaked.
like
yeah.
when iPhones come out or
Yeah,
the new
concept.
Samsung,
It's
the
on your
concept.
arm.
Yeah.
How many years has that been? That concept photo of just like a phone screen on your wrist.
Yeah.
Like every year, it's like
Yeah,
this
and
is
you
what
can
the
just
iPhone
like snap
13.
it around
Yeah.
like one of those little reflector
Yeah.
bands you used to
Some
get.
spike and shit. Like
I mean, it does make sense though because they announced this last year that they you can unlock. There's a specific car that you can unlock with your iPhone. I can't remember which brand it was.
I think it is Tesla.
It's not a Tesla. I think it was like a Honda
really.
or a Chevrolet. I can't remember which one, but you can use your Face ID and unlock your car, which is like, holy god,
Yeah.
we're in the future, boys.
There's a couple. I
Yeah.
think it's like Rolls Royce or someone. They give you a custom ring,
Yeah.
and so
yeah.
when you go up to the car, you putting the ring on the handle
Activates it to open,
activates
yeah.
and unlocks it. So you basically can't
Mhm.
get into the car otherwise. But
Feels really easy to lose.
oh hell yeah,
He's just got to wear the ring at all times.
yeah. But I
They
reckon,
must have. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I reckon that's gonna cause a massive debate if once there's an Apple car, Apple v Tesla, because Tesla's
Yeah.
then essentially going to be the Android of electric
Mhm.
cars.
Yeah. It's one of the things where I feel like if they must have been working on a car for like the last 5 years, Like they only ever really announce stuff a couple months before they're going to release it. They're not one of those that are just like, let's build up hype for years. Like they just release it and they're like, Apple Car September this year or whatever, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because I think like when the first iPhone came out, they said even like a month before the official like Apple Day or whatever they do, they were like, "What? Why would we make phones? We make computers."
Mm-hmm.
And then like a month later, it was
It's
Steve
just
Jobs
like,
going,
here's-
"Hey,
yeah.
check this out.
Check
We
this
got
out."
a phone."
There is a big debate at the minute. I saw a video of Marquise Brownlee talking about car companies need to come together and come up with one power source for each electric car. You know how we're like transitioning into the USB-C? No, USB-C? Yeah, USB-C. Yes, USB-C. And we're transitioning into that, so like everyone can use a USB-C power adapter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a debate now that car companies need to get their shit together and actually like make this one specific type of charging system, so that we don't have to like be, oh, you've got to travel like 100 odd miles.
You
down
can
the-
only charge
down.
at these company
Yeah.
stations because they have the wires that you require or whatever. Yeah.
I think they're going to
Totally
be
agree.
quite stubborn about it because I think it makes Elon a bit more richer when
Yeah.
he's the richest man in the world now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and because some car companies themselves will create the charging stations, so they might use our own patented technology, which means that no other car can come and just, like a Tesla can't go and charge where a Neo's charging or whatever.
Going back to Elon Musk, he's got a lot on his plate at the moment. Because if you think he's going to have Apple as a new competitor, there's a load of electric vehicle cars coming out, and then also with SpaceX, he's got to deal with Blue Origin and Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
So he's being attacked from all angles.
but on the plus side, he is now the richest person on the planet.
Can you
you see
guys
how he
explain to me how
responded?
this happened? Because as someone you guys are in the finance industry.
Tesla stock only goes up. That's
Yep.
pretty much it.
It's mental. So
He's gone up
basically,
like 500% in the
I think-
last year or something like that.
I think he owns like 20% of the total shares in the company or something like that. And so I think if you look from when they first IPO'd, which was 2013, I think, they
Oh,
were
yeah,
$20 a share, and they're currently sitting at about $850 a share.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at like a 4,300% increase in his net worth, and that's just Tesla.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
in the stock
PayPal.
alone. That's not to do with the other companies, not to do with his business actually selling more cars. That's just the shares.
It's like future value, but at the same time, like Tesla's now worth more than pretty much every car brand you could name all put together.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
So
much.
I'm assuming SpaceX has gone up as well.
it's private,
Oh,
so you can't buy shares in it,
right.
which I think is part of the issue. They're kind of investing in Elon Musk's like intellectual property and
That
his
is pretty
branding,
much it, yeah.
and they're kind of funneling like, oh, he's going to take us to Mars. Then you're going to have like publicly available transport into planet. And so people are like heavily throwing money at him. Like, do what you need to do
Yeah.
because I am all in.
Like, the price right now is what people are thinking that Tesla and the other companies will be in like 5 years' time.
Yeah.
Not like what it's worth right now, because
Once
they're selling a decent amount of cars, and I'm pretty sure it's going up every single year.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not an equal value to
Did
how
you
much money
see-
they're making.
Did you see the Tesla tequila they brought out just before Christmas?
I heard
think
about
I
this.
saw
I
it.
heard about this.
Did
Yeah.
I see a photo of the bottle? I think
It was like a lightning bolt.
yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It
sick.
was like $250 per bottle, and it's like 750 mils. It's not even a standard liter bottle of tequila.
How many was it one of those things where they did like a really short supply of it to make it just even?
I think it was like 10 or 25,000.
Okay, so you can probably get it on StockX or
Yeah,
Go or
probably.
something
I
like
hadn't
that.
even
Yeah, for
thought
like
of
a
that.
grand.
Yeah. Oh man.
What would you rather? Would you rather go to Mars and never come back, or would you rather be the first man on the moon?
But be able to come back and brag about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Neil Armstrong's had a hell of a life being the first man on the moon.
Yeah,
Like as soon as that happened, you got to think the number of places that wanted him to come and talk about it and the training.
it was just a green screen. No, I'm joking.
It was a green
It was
screen.
a green screen. No, I'm joking.
But I guess, that's such a tough question because I'm guessing you're saying like Mars and never come back because the first 20 or 30 people that are going, like they're basically never coming back. Isn't that the story?
Yeah, they're training 20 odd people, didn't you say, before we
Yeah.
started this? They're trained. Well, how old are they though?
I think they were all 20s or early 30s,
Mm.
and basically they had, you know, engineering backgrounds. They had some training in circuitry or plumbing or like something useful. Biologists, what's the herbologists?
Yeah,
Is it
they'd probably
for-
want to get
no.
like a good mix of
Yeah.
people that can like yeah.
But that's such a crazy thing. Imagine being told like,
knowing you're going somewhere
yeah,
and you'll never return.
for potentially like the future of humanity's existence. If you fuck
Yeah.
up, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you
It's
seen
just-
how they want to try and like terraform Mars?
Yes,
I'm not really
I
smart
know.
about Terraform, but I know you explained it. Explained it to
'Cause
us
it's
earlier. So go
basically
for it.
so terraforming is basically turning uninhabitable land into livable land.
Mhm.
So I guess if you looked at, you know, London 4,000 years ago, it would have been a grassy field with a couple huts. But
Mhm.
now you look at it and it's a metroplex.
Yeah.
So you're basically there's a fast way and a slow way. And the slow way is, you know, everyone lives in glass domes. Start farming, start producing generators, which are going to produce a lot of heat to try and create the atmosphere, flood the atmosphere with oxygen, nitrogen, things like that, which help form the atmosphere to keep like everything in rather than it being blown away by solar winds and everything. And that will slowly over time, but, you know, decades and decades,
Mhm.
it will slowly warm it up. And then the ice will then start to melt, and then you'll be able to refine drinking water and things like that. But the quick way is you drop nukes on the North and South Pole of Mars.
It sounds like a joke, but
It's very effective,
yeah.
but that's a bad idea.
It's a
Yeah.
very American way of doing it, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Kaboom.
it's
How,
very
how,
just
can,
like,
how can we do
yeah.
it? We've got like 7,000 nukes sitting, which, you know,
So you may as well just use
no
a
one's
couple of them.
testing our patience
Yeah.
enough. So
It's kind of like, it sounds like one of those games, you know, like what was that, like Farmville or something like that, where it's like you've got to wait 10
God.
hours for your
So addictive.
for your patch to start
your
loading or
parrots.
whatever, or you pay 10 gold and you instantly done. It's kind of like that, where it's just like you can wait ages. It's gonna take like 100 years.
Yeah.
The world might be goosed by then, or you could just nuke the place and
Just nuke
be
it.
there in 5 years.
yeah. It's like Mars, but a pay to play.
Yeah, the Mars DLC, like just Mars remastered.
Oh, but that's a tough question. I don't even know if I'd want to like go to the moon. There's not much there to do, is there?
I think I'd
I would
probably,
like my
I'd probably
child.
pick the moon one. I think.
I'd like my child to be the first Martian.
Yeah. Hey, fuck Mars. Let's look at Venus.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
Mars
that'd be-
It's
overrated.
a bit hot, isn't it? It's a bit
it's a bit-
spicy.
exactly. So
Oh.
imagine imagine
It's like
being able
Burning
to,
Man. Like.
yeah, imagine literally being able to like defy the sun's heat and make Venus a livable planet.
Didn't they just discover that there's life in the clouds or something in Venus last year?
I don't know.
Like, as in, they found what's the word I'm looking for?
Microbes.
Microbes or some sugar or like that in the clouds of Venus.
Well,
Did
damn.
you not see this?
Yeah,
This
'cause
was
I guess that could kind of make sense because what is it in like the Mariana Trench and stuff where you've got the what are they called? It's like 400 degrees Celsius because
Okay.
you've got the heat from the core of the Earth like
Oh,
seeping
yeah.
through, and it's like 400 degrees down there, and you've got life. You've got all of in like Finding Nemo where you've got that bulb fish.
Yeah.
And they're all like lit up.
angler fish.
I think
Anglerfish,
anglerfish,
yeah.
yeah.
But then you get all of the like neon fish and like little like shellfish and stuff.
Mhm.
Like so, I guess like it's not impossible. It's
not.
just
Aliens don't exist though, so let's just not go. I'm joking. Of course
I
they
mean-
fucking exist.
Mm.
technically, if we go to Mars or the Moon, we are aliens on that planet.
Exactly.
So as soon as we go to Mars, we're aliens, boys.
Mm.
And we fucking made it.
Welcome to the Science Hour.
Talking of unique life forms, would you rather Madison or Addison?
That is
Right, so Madison Beer
Yes.
and Addison Ray.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a fantastic segue.
That is a fantastic. It
wasn't planned either.
Talking
That was
about
actually-
remarkable life. You fucking simp.
Yeah, that is tier 4 simp. You invented tier 4 simp.
So let's lay down the ground rules
Yeah.
for it. So Madison Beer,
Kyle's crush.
made famous.
Everybody in
by
the world.
Yeah.
Everyone in the
Be
world's
honest.
crush. So she was made. She kind of came into the spotlight with David Dobrik.
No, Justin
that right?
Bieber.
Was it
Justin
Oh,
Bieber.
Madison B. Yeah, she's been quite famous for a while. It was related to Justin Bieber years ago.
So I think Justin Bieber reshared a video that she did a cover of something, and he was like, "Yeah, this is pretty cool." And then they became friends or something.
And this was like, it must have been like 5, 6, 7 years ago. And then I think, didn't she, is Scooter Braun her manager as well? Or
I'm not too
I'm
sure.
pretty sure Scooter's helped her somewhat in her career to like build a music career. So that's kind of what she's been doing. And then recently, well, not recently because David Dobrik hasn't been uploading, but in 2019 and the start of 2020, she was included a lot more in those vlogs, which kind of brought her back to
the forefront.
the forefront. Yeah, and she's been doing music and stuff. I don't really listen to her music, but I know she's had some actually pretty big songs.
She has an album coming out next month, I'm pretty sure as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Addison Rae, who throws it back on TikTok.
She got cast in a TV show, didn't she? Quite recently. I don't know what specifically it is, but
That's going to happen more and more, isn't it? Because think how big her that sounded like is it going to be a dodgy
Big up
accent?
bunda is, bro.
That how big her audience is. Like I don't know how many followers she has on TikTok, but it must be like 80 million.
she's
or
the second
something like
most
that now.
followed, isn't she, on
Yeah.
TikTok?
Yeah.
After
It must
Charlie
be, like,
D'Amelio.
80 million. What she got on Instagram, it's got to be at least 10, 15 million.
Yeah.
Like you can make a TV show about anything, and if she's able to send it to an audience of near 100 million people,
Yeah. Because
it's surely going to be a success.
the D'Amelios have the D'Amelio family series as well, don't
Mm.
they? Haven't seen it.
Was it?
but,
Is that a Netflix thing or?
Nah, it's like
either
keeping up with the
Netflix.
Kardashians sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reality TV.
The audience is madness. Like when you think about like big YouTubers or whatever, it's always been like PewDiePie, king of YouTube, that race to 100 mil they had, and then TikTok just out of nowhere, like Charlie D'Amelio just comes and she's got like 100, she's got over 100 million now on TikTok, and it's
Yeah.
like a year ago you might have had 5 million.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
I think her sister put a thing up. Like it was literally a 12-month change, and she's gone from
I
like
saw that.
20,000 followers on Instagram to like 19.2 million for being the sister of the most popular person.
I prefer Dixie.
Yeah.
Not
Is
like
because Dixie's of age.
No. No. Wait, what?
Seems more grounded from what I've seen. I don't really watch either of their
She
content.
seems pretty
but
normal. Have you seen the Jeff's barbershop thing that she did?
yeah,
She just seemed pretty normal by the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. So make your choices, bro.
I'm gonna
Madison
go
or
for
Addison?
Madison.
Madison Beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even.
Because
Have
we
to
ain't
ask me.
TikTok simps.
Yeah. I like the song that she did with Martin Solveig and Jax Jones. All night,
Yeah.
all day, all night. It was like 2018. It was like the most literally played on every time you turn a radio song. All day, all night, don't give me up. You just hear that every time. You're like, you know what? Turn it up because it's a banger.
Turn it up.
Yeah.
What about you, Kyle?
No, mate, you don't even have to ask me. It's Madison all the way.
Yeah. That was a dumb question. It was just we just wanted to speak about her for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and that was a rationale.
Oh, I love you.
Carl, I think you've got an interesting question.
Oh, are we doing would you rather's then?
I think so.
All
Looks
right,
like it.
cool. Let's start off with a nice easy one. I've got a couple, and we can kind of go down the rabbit hole and just lose all monetization possibilities for this video. But for the first one, keeping with the Madison Beer trend, I guess. Would you rather be able to sing in every voice, or would you rather be able to play every musical instrument like an expert?
So the singing with a voice one is like if you wanted to sing like Lewis Capaldi right now, you could,
Yeah.
and then a minute later you could sing like The Weeknd.
So
You
if-
could just
yeah.
you could do whatever any other artist.
It's almost like you can
does.
just think
Yeah.
like Beyonce, Done.
Got a
Yeah.
great stage name for that. The Chameleon. You guys don't seem impressed.
No, I was thinking about it, I was like, it's a smart one.
That's pretty cool. But I was expecting.
I just
something
stick
to
with
come out.
Kylin. I think that's what-
No, but yeah, if you could sing in every single voice, you could just be a chameleon of voices.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wouldn't want to be that.
What would you call yourself if you could play every instrument?
The one man band.
Mr. Virtuoso. I don't know.
I'd go for the instrument one. I feel like that's pretty easy for me because I feel like if you could sing like any other artist, I don't know. Because if you just sing like The Weeknd, then people are just going to be like, you're just a Weeknd without any of the exposure. Or
But could you come up with your own unique voice though?
Yeah, just
feel like you could.
complete control over vocal.
Like a little
Yeah.
a twist, a little hint of Dua Lipa, with a hint of the Joji, a hint of the Abel.
it just ends up being such a weird mix.
And then all of a sudden, when you hit the high notes, you go to being
Yeah.
like Paul Potts opera.
Yeah.
You know, like you know in SpongeBob where Patrick's like ladle, 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 ladle. It sound like that. No, this is Patrick.
I'd go for the instruments. I think.
Instrument one just makes sense because you could visualize your production, make every song, every
Usually make a
instrumentation.
career
Yeah.
around
Come up
it.
with the melody so that the
Yeah.
singers, you can hire singers and be like, yo, I want you to do this melody, I've wrote some lyrics to it, and then boom,
Yeah.
there you
You
go.
could work with some such sick artists as well. Like I feel like I'd rather work with somebody like The Weeknd than sing like The Weeknd.
Because I guess if you can sing in any voice, that doesn't necessarily mean you have the lyricism
Yeah.
and the wordplay to write
Mhm.
write songs that work
Yeah.
with that voice. But if you have the musical instruments, like imagine just like you had someone like Kid Cudi
Mhm.
or The Weeknd or Drake, they come in and they're like, "Oh, we should do a song together," and all you literally do, you basically like fall over onto a
Yeah.
keyboard and you just
You
make
press the DJ
greatest
button.
song. DJ.
Yeah, I'd
What
go
does
for
that
the
remind me of?
instruments.
That was it a TikTok where it's like, "Oops, I slipped."
Oh, no, I
Just-
hope I don't fall.
All right, what you picking for that one?
Instruments. Yeah, I mean to be fair,
Well,
What,
you're
you
gonna
are,
be
you're a
all in-
fucking DJ.
yeah, I mean
You're
to
going
be
to be in
fair,
agreement on every single question. That
Nah.
just makes it boring.
nah. Well, you said singer, right?
I feel like
gonna
singing.
singer?
I just like imagine just being able to like if you're just chilling with your mates and just be able to just
Yeah.
voice of an angel.
You just want to
You
be
are
center
front
of
and center
attention.
as
That's what
well.
it is. Yeah.
You just want all the attention.
Yeah.
You want all that clout.
Yeah, I don't want.
Whilst we're back here, just
Don't
want it-
I'm on the piano. You're
Yeah.
just slapping the bass. And you just here at the
Yeah.
front, just
To be fair, we've done the reason why I say that is because I'm kind of in that. At the moment, I've been doing.
an expert in
No.
17 different instruments.
I've been doing-
and I
three
can
more.
sing like The Weeknd.
I've got another music project coming up with my good friend Tom.
Oh my god!
What?
You're too talented.
Not another one. But I mean, I guess we can tease a little bit. We've been working with a local artist called Kieran Brown, who goes by the name of Kingsy. Yeah. And we haven't decided. I think the song title the original title was The Crown. And then I think we're calling it Where Do We Go From Here? Or Where Do We Go, I think.
Okay.
It might be coming out next month. So,
They're quite different.
what do you mean?
Like if it was like The Crown, you might have gone with a name like Royalty or
We
Something
are
like that.
thinking of calling ourselves Idols.
What IDOLS?
Yeah, in big capital letters. But obviously, we have had a
There's
big discussion.
idols already.
There's
who are
already
really
this
big
rock
bands.
band called IDLES.
Yeah.
There's those idols, but we're like, nah, they can be their own little. It's because Tom wants it to be something that just rolls off the tongue. If you're at a festival, we'd be like, I want to see Disclosure. I want to see Idols. I want to see Rudimental. It's something that you can
Madison
be like,
Beer.
yeah. But yeah, it's an EDM project, so well, hopefully we'll have some new music next month. Hopefully,
Ooh.
I mean, if
Stay
anyone,
tuned for the next
Yeah.
intro song then.
and if anyone hasn't listened to the full song called Gravy by Kylin and Rebarb yet, then check that out on
We'll
his
put a link
Spotify.
in the description.
Yeah, check it
Yeah.
out on Spotify.
it's
Share
a,
with
it's,
your
a,
friends.
it's a slapper.
Yeah.
It do be slapping.
That's enough for the promo. Right.
All right, so we were all instrument,
Instrument.
vocals.
Yeah.
No, I think we got a band there.
Yeah.
The Smokies.
All right, let's go a little
breaks.
spicier here.
Oh, I like spice.
It's quite
Do you prefer jalapenos? Literally spicier.
jalapeno or Tabasco sauce. No.
Cholula.
Here's a completely unrelated one now. Would you rather have a thumb-sized dick or a pinky width dick, but you keep the same length that you've got now?
I mean, like.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's no camera, but they're both checking out their thumbs and their pinkies right now.
I'm not gonna lie, my pinky and thumb are like the same length, so I'm gonna have to go with my thumb.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't particularly have the biggest
No, but
hands in
if
the
you-
world.
No,
if
because
you-
it's no with the pinky.
With the pinky,
it's no, you don't have to go
keep
that
the
length.
length you've got now. It's just
Yeah,
pinky
like a little
size.
pencil,
Yeah.
or long, like an elongated pencil. But
So if you
My
choose the
pinky's
pinky,
way too thin, bro.
yeah, I have thin fingers altogether.
Yeah. Either
So-
way, it's a loss.
Yeah. So do you want to be known as thumb dick or pinky whip?
You was pinky width.
Yeah.
Why would
you
they
see
say
what I mean?
pinky
They're
width?
like the same length.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got to.
Are we all thumbs up?
Just gonna have to.
Thumbs up or pinkies down.
Either way,
bro.
I'm having a bloody micro penis at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
either way, it's an L, I think. So let's just go. I'm going for thumbs, I guess.
thumb, yeah,
Yeah.
because they love that girth.
As you can all tell, this is a bit more of a laid-back podcast. We're just going through some.
Yeah, we've gone down. a
Would you
rabbit hole.
rather
We've gone from
questions,
Kid
yeah.
Cudi to pinky dick. Has anyone got any other would you rather's or spicy questions? I guess you could just ask
I mean, it's
something.
more of a local-based question, but is dating bad in Jersey, the Channel Islands? Perspectives, please.
Are we all single?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then the answer is yes.
Yeah, there's clearly a problem.
Yeah.
because- No, I think it's kind of like a small town or small island issue. Like if you have gone out with someone in the past, then there's going to be about
Half of the island's off limits.
yeah, exactly. Like it's either friends or friends of friends.
Or your mate dated that girl, and you're like, I've got bro code.
Yeah.
You can't be dating that girl.
Yeah, the options get refined very quickly, especially if you weren't really in the dating scene during school or something like that. If you don't have your first relationship until like 24, 25, you might deal with even less options because then you'll know who your mates have
Yeah.
been with.
It's just the issue of everybody knowing everybody, right?
Have
isn't
you
it?
found that the dating, like the online dating here, is just it's very different to the UK. No one puts captions here. They're very like, oh,
Yeah.
mysterious.
Like if I ever go on Tinder and stuff like that, I'm just like, are you doing that because you're a catfish and you can't be asked to put any effort into your catfish endeavor, or you just have nothing to say about yourself?
Have you tried anything else besides Tinder, like Bumble or Hinge?
I know Kai used Grindr, did you?
Fuck off. I have never used any dating apps whatsoever.
It's because you're a boss man, mate. It just
okay.
comes to you. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Plunge magnet.
Yeah.
As,
I'm
as,
not- I'm not a
as
si-
the face of the
Yeah.
band,
I'm
as
not-
a singer,
I'm
you're
not a
the one who
simp, I'm
gets.
a pimp, bro.
So we're all saying a unanimous yes.
I think yes and no, because if you to look at it from another side, if you're coming from the UK and you never grew up here, I think then it's almost
Free
it
for
might
all.
almost be easier
Yeah, free for all, I reckon.
because there's fewer people, there's more people you'd see more often. Whereas like in the UK, if you lived in London, if you met someone, had a good night with them, and then you might never see them again.
Yeah.
Because there's like 9 million people in London.
Yeah.
I think it's about more than that, isn't it?
Oh, in the
think
UK,
it's about-
there's like 60
I
million
was talking
people.
about London, bro.
Yeah, I swear there's more than that in London.
It's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
more
a
than New
number.
York, though, which surprises me
Is
a
it?
lot. There's
Able.
more people living in London than New York.
I think that I might be wrong about this, but apparently there is one person for every single nation in the world in London. So like
Jesus.
you have one for
Oh, it's definitely the most
Uganda,
diverse.
Talk about a
Congo,
melting pot, as they call it. Like that is a
Bermuda.
perfect, yeah,
Yeah.
just like the little places you don't really hear of, like
anywhere.
anywhere. Rwanda.
Yeah.
Well, how many countries are there? Like
200
202?
odd, yeah.
So, yeah,
That's
with 9
mad.
million people. It's quite a nice smorgasbord of nations.
And plus, London's got so many different cultures going on. You've got like Jamaican culture, Nigerian culture.
I think that's incredible for when you go there and you just have so much choices of different like
Yeah.
foods, takeaways.
Because it's still London at the end of the day. It's still British, but when you go there, yeah, they got their own like Chinatown. If you want to go there, they got everything.
Yeah.
It feels
The
like.
Chinatown's just off
Leicester
Piccadilly
Leicester
as
Square,
well.
isn't it?
The
Leicester
Piccadilly,
Square,
line.
Haven't been yet. I'm blasphemous on my
I
behalf.
really want to go back to London again.
Not now, but
I know, obviously not now. I'm talking about like whenever the shit's over.
well, we've got the weekend coming up. You'll be able to go in
Yeah.
October.
Hopefully, I'm fingers crossed. I'm not getting my hopes up too much with that
Yeah.
because it's one of those things where it's like you had hopes of it last year because obviously everything started in March. You're like, oh, I'm seeing a weekend in October in London. It's hopefully going to be sorted by then. When did we come out of the first lockdown? Like July, something like that?
I think July
August?
you were able to.
So you're like, oh, this is going to be sound. And then Christmas, you're barely allowed to see anybody.
Yeah, 'cause
so
I think it was like July, August, where like they sent an email and they were like,
your
"Oh yeah,
background photo.
yeah." Just for context, I think it was a fan art.
Yeah, fan art of the weekend.
Someone drew a sketch of the weekend, and with all due respect to the guy, it was fucking dreadful. And then someone made a hyper-realistic version of it.
His
we
eyes
might
are
be
so far apart from each other.
we might just get when we edit this, we might just get a photo up of the side by sides.
He looks like
So
amateur.
yeah,
He puts it as his
Popped up
profile.
again, it's the
He put
worst,
it as his profile avatar. So
Yeah.
that was even like so soft.
I think that was really nice from the weekend
Yeah.
because for that person, obviously, I hope
They'd
they
have been
didn't think it
bullied
was good. I
hard.
hope they did it as a joke. But if they did it seriously, obviously, they would have taken loads of flack off people online
Yeah.
just making jokes about it. But then to have Abel himself put it as his
and be like,
Instagram
"Fuck what you
photo,
think."
yeah.
I
Did
like
you
that.
guys
It's quite
see
nice.
the new Save Your Tears video?
Save your tears. Yeah.
Save your tears. Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was a really good. Oh, he got plastic surgery. He looks like
That pissed me off.
Yeah.
You were telling me about that.
Some people that I knew were like,
Archie,
"Have you seen?
the
Have you
voice
seen
chat.
all the
Oh my
work
god,
he's
if
had
Jared,
done?
what was it? Jared was like, yeah. Oh, you seen The Weekend? Like, he
Have you
looks.
seen all the plastic surgery he's done? He looks well weird." And I'm like, he didn't even read the caption of the post on Instagram. It was like he has had prosthetics put on his face, not
For a
Botox
music
injected.
video.
Yeah, Mate, but his face is so angular. You literally can't do that with Botox.
Ah.
So I don't know how people are like, oh, because what was it? It was the AMAs where he picked up awards and he had the bandages around his face.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, this explains the bandages. No, it's the character for the whole album.
Yeah.
Like, he gets his head cut off in the In Your Eyes video. He's not really been decapitated, you fucking nonce. Yeah, sorry, it ran over.
Preach,
Yeah.
Queen.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But that video kind of shits all over the Grammys, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When
Oh,
he's
hell yeah.
jizzing
'Cause
champagne all over those
Yeah.
masquerade people.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
faceless crowd that he doesn't give a shit about.
Because isn't it meant to be like, I don't care if you're putting on a plastic face for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm going to be what I want to be.
Yeah, like when I saw it, what I took from the video straight away was him saying, I'm not going to put on a fake face and perform at your show that I'm not going to get any awards at. Like, I don't know how far ahead, because the video came out, a week ago or something like that?
Couple now, I think.
And then when did the stuff with the Grammys happen? Maybe 2 months ago maximum. But he's been doing the whole bandage thing for quite a while, so I'm not
Banjos?
sure.
Did you just say banjos?
Nah, bandages.
If you said
thing.
banjos, I was like, wait,
Oh,
what?
the bandage thing. He's been doing that for quite a while, so I don't know whether his plan has always been. Don't know whether I'm reading too much into it with the video, but it seems like it's just a royal fuck you to the Grammys.
The
Just like, I'm not
cinematography-
performing at your shit.
The cinematography is, I saw it was very reminiscent of Jack Nicholson's Joker from the Batman, and
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
Birdman. I don't know if you guys have watched Birdman with
I haven't. It's apparently
the guy
so
who played
good.
Batman, Michael Keaton, when he's got the gun pointed at his head. Like, that's kind of like it's kind of copying what the cinematography of that film does.
His
Yeah.
movements have always been pretty Joker-esque with this character.
Yeah.
Like with his little dance moves. He loves doing his
Yeah.
like little kick out,
It's kind of
simple.
like half MJ,
yeah.
sort of.
Yeah, it's like a sleazy MJ.
Yeah. I love the red suit though.
Yeah.
It's just such a slick look.
I wonder, I think I might have mentioned it on one of the earlier podcasts, I wonder whether he's still going to go for that for the Super Bowl. Because that's at the end of February,
Yeah.
February 28th, I think.
He might just keep it up until he finishes the tour.
Yeah.
I think he will. I think I've been thinking about it as well. Like you've got to keep it's like the phase of After Hours. So
Yeah. It's the
not
whole
like
theme of the
yeah,
album.
it's the theme. Yeah,
It's the same with the hairstyles, isn't it?
yeah. He's
Yeah.
been keeping
Like,
the same hairstyle.
he's always had a hairstyle until
The
he's
next
finished
album,
a
yeah.
tour, and then when you see him with a new hairstyle, you know the album's coming.
I feel like he would have liked to if COVID didn't happen, this whole thing didn't happen. Maybe finished with that character at the end of I don't know when the tour would have ended, but his tour was supposed to start like July last year, I think.
In the US and Canada.
Yeah, and then if he's doing UK, it would have been October. He might have finished it by early this year. I feel like he might have done his like last hurrah with a red suit and stuff like that with the Super Bowl, and then maybe moved on.
Yeah.
But I feel like all of that has just been delayed now because this entire year he's going to have to continue with the red suit because it's called the After Hours tour. It's about the whole character. If he comes out Blinding Lights and he's just wearing like one of his old like North Face jackets, it's going to feel a bit. It's not really going to
Imagine
fit
that
the.
Weekend in a North Face jacket. Oh my god.
What?
He
That's
did-
what he used
he
to
did
do
have
back in
one.
the
It
day.
was,
Have you
Wait,
seen the
what?
King of the Fool music video?
No, I have not.
Oh, he's got it. It's like
It's a whole
it's
world
black.
map.
It's black at the top, and it's a world map that goes around
Hmm.
instead of the.
I think I've seen the artwork for it. Yeah.
It's a very sick jacket.
I like it.
Yeah.
They're like $1.5 grand
Yeah.
online. StockX, anything like that. So
Yeah.
if he's held on to it, he's
Hmm.
made a bit of bank.
Do you
Not that
guys
he needs
think
it.
Yeah, since 2013, he's made more than $1.5 grand.
like on the topic of like music and shifting into 2021, do you think it will stay the same sort of musically how it was throughout 2020 with like releases of singles and delays of album? Because it really doesn't seem like we're going back to normality anytime soon.
It feels like, personally to me, it feels like it's going to be all weighing on when artists can start performing again. Because if they're able to start performing again, then they're going to want to start making new music for it. They're going to want to start releasing albums that they can then use to tour with, because they're not going to end up doing like a whole tour if they haven't got anything. If they've got a single out, that's
Yeah.
not really going to happen. So, yeah.
I feel it's just one of those things. They don't want to release something that then they're not going to be able to perform until
Yeah.
7-8 months later, and then once they perform it, they're already sick of it because they've heard it, they've done all the interviews for it, they've done all the shows that they're able to do,
Yeah.
and then they get to perform it at Reading and Leeds, Lollapalooza, whatever.
Yeah, like it's not nice to say, but they'll want to capitalize on it financially as well. Like if you're bringing out an album that you've been working on for like 2 years, you want to be able to tour it. You want to be able to get merch out. You want to be able to build that entire hype around it. You want to do loads of music videos, which I imagine are probably quite hard to do at the moment. I think just all of that is just causing artists to go, I'll bring out some singles. They might pop on TikTok and I might get a Grammy for it.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
It's almost a different strategy, isn't it?
Yeah. Gotta get hyper focused to get one good song as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, supposedly there are some new albums coming out soon. Like we've discussed, like Slow Tie, Foo Fighters.
When's the Slow Tie one out? Let me check on my phone because he brought out another
Was it with
single
A$AP?
last week with
A$AP,
ASAP.
yeah.
Yeah, Mazayin. It's actually, it's not a surprise when you listen to it. You're like, oh yeah, it's a really hyped up, like juiced up song. It's Slow Tie and ASAP Rocky. It's kind of what you expect.
Coming soon
When
to
is
a
that out?
streaming service near you.
The album is out on the 5th of February.
Soon.
Yeah. Keen for that. He's got 3 singles out at the moment. I can see some of the features that he has. He has Skepta on a song called Cancelled. So that's going to be good. Dominic Fike and Denzel Curry on the same song. All right.
Ooh.
Keen. And then a song with Deb Never, who is this Asian artist who I know has done a lot of stuff with Brockhampton.
Yeah.
who I mentioned to you before, because Brockhampton, I think, they had Slow Tie on their last album, just in a little like 1 minute interlude when it was just him on that album Ginger. So it's weird how you see like the full circle of just like this artist would have never worked with this artist if they hadn't worked with this artist. You get this like just web effect.
I'm sure they'd have definitely had like a discovery of new artists themselves, because they don't from what I've heard in interviews, they don't tend to listen to their own genre, because then they start to sound like what they hear. So I think even them, like we've discovered a load of new artists over the past year, and a lot of people have kind of come out of nowhere with singles, like the current number one, Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, which
Who the fuck is Olivia Rodrigo?
Who the fuck?
Who the fuck is that?
I honestly haven't
How
heard.
dare she?
I think she's a Disney kid, isn't she? Is that
High
right?
School Musical, the series.
It's such
most
a bad
convoluted
name.
It's like the what's it called one? The Borat one. Borat subsequent movie
Borat
film.
subsequent movie film for make
King in the
benefit
castle.
once great nation Kazakhstan.
Or Borat 2.
Oh, Borat 2.
Or Harley Quinn and the Emancipation of the what is it called? Birds of Prey or something like that.
Yeah.
That bombed so badly because of the title, because it just was like, who wants to see that?
Yeah.
Jokey titles like that only work with, I feel like, films like Borat, where it's just like
Deadpool.
Or
it's
Deadpool.
yeah.
Like Deadpool 3's been announced. Have you
Mhm.
seen that?
Ryan Reynolds is going to be the next big, highest paid Marvel film star after, obviously, RDJ's not going to be coming back anytime soon. So he's getting a fat check.
I don't think
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds cares about it now, because his aviation, didn't he
Oh,
make
he's
like
got aviation
bang from
gin
that?
as well.
And
he's
he
just
bought
a
Wrexham.
football company.
He bought Wrexham.
Football
Yeah,
company,
him
football club.
and
Yeah.
what's the guy called?
Just-
Rob McConnelly, I think. Or
Robert
Rob's-
Blaney.
Yeah,
Yeah, from Always
um,
Sunny in Philadelphia.
ah,
It's just weird for me, because I used to walk past that stadium every bloody morning before going to uni, and then next thing you know, Deadpool and bloody Always Sunny in Philadelphia guy have got the bloody team now.
it is how bizarre. Like I don't know
bizarre.
how.
It's a good way of spending your millions, I suppose, on a shitty
Or hundreds of
non-league-
thousands.
non-league-
You never know, is it?
Yeah, shitty conference league team.
Yeah, it's one of those things where were they fans of them 5 years ago? Were they just on a like binge of like UK football teams, and they're like, I want to get involved with this shit. Who can I buy? Like, what teams are up for sale? It feels like one of those things where it's either something that they've always, like a lifelong, been Wrexham fans somehow,
I
or they
doubt
just
it.
went down a.
It was owned by the fans originally, so then they had to convince the fans, and I think their main motto was, "We'll always beat Chester," because that's the rivals that we had, just 20 minutes down the road.
Yeah. You got the financial backing as well. If you don't beat them,
Yeah,
Financial backing, the audience online, like, because I think Wrexham already have like quite a good audience online,
Oh, yeah, for
like
sure.
on Twitter. But adding
noisy
them
stadium,
to
yeah.
involved, you know that Ryan Reynolds is just going to do the funniest shit that is going to bring people to support. Like, he's going to bring some of the US eyes over to Wrexham Football
I
Club.
could see him doing something weird, like the UK premiere is done in the Wrexham Stadium, or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Could you imagine? And it's just all of Wrexham get an invitation to it, and that's the premiere.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just
that'd be
loads of like
incredible.
footy fans in Stone
Yeah.
Island jackets,
Yeah.
just like, this film's sick.
Yeah, because I think didn't he give all of the pubs and the fans that owned it? He just gave them a load of the aviation gin.
Oh, what's it called?
As like,
what's
um,
that pub called?
I
We
don't
used to
know what-
always go, because the stadium's right next to the uni, and we used to always go there. Oh, what is it called? It's gonna bug me now. All right, it'll come back to me in a minute. Just discuss amongst yourselves 1 second.
That is a way to win the fans over,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, we bought your
Alcohol.
team, but here's some gin.
that's getting into like the
Yeah.
UK culture. Just
Mm,
here's some
yeah.
alcohol, have a fucking
Yeah.
sick day, mate.
Yeah, and they're both like funny people. Like Rob, can't remember what his last name
Blaney.
is, but yeah, I love Always Sunny. His character Mac is just hilarious, and it's not a surprise when you're just like, oh, him and Ryan Reynolds are friends. So it feels like it's like a mutually quite good thing where the fans are gonna be happy
It's
with
called
it.
the turf. Yeah,
The turf.
yeah, the turf.
Okay.
Yeah. Cheap pints as well. You're talking like £2 pints.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not for long. Ryan Reynolds comes, it's just like, we're only selling craft gin. Every drink is aviation
walking.
gin, it's £8.
yeah. you walk in after lockdown and it's all just like marble counters, like
They just had a
golden spires.
refurbishment. To be fair, before I left, they refurbished it and it looked pretty stunning.
Just proper gentrifies it. Like everyone just wants to go in and get their £2 dirty pints, and he's just like, no, this place isn't going to pay for itself. Like,
Sorry, you've got to have a gin and tonic and listen to this jazz.
no
Yeah,
trainers.
What about,
Yeah.
What about Sweet Caroline? Get the fuck out of here.
Out of here. This has changed. Hopefully that doesn't happen for the fans. You want it to kind of stay the exact same culture.
Nah, I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay the same. I know it is,
Mm.
judging by how the Wrexham people are.
Yeah.
Would you rather sell your organs, or one organ, or sell all your possessions?
So sell one of your organs or all of your possessions.
Is it like the whole organ? Or is
I
it
mean, it
like,
could be
or is
like-
it like for a
Yeah,
tr-
you can't
for-
just trim it. Like that could be
No,
quite
for-
easy.
for
The
a
ones
li-
obviously you
liver
can
transplant.
survive off, like
Yeah.
kidney.
Yeah,
Eye.
but for a liver transplant, I think they only take half
Mm.
because you
Yeah.
can't like live without it.
You ever tasted liver from a different animal before? Like pig's liver.
From a different animal than a human. Yeah, I'd hope so.
You ever eaten a human before?
Have you never had like liver and kidney pie?
Yeah.
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 Liver's disgusting. It's the most
I-
disgusting meat I've ever tried. in my
I
entire
can eat it
life.
by
got
itself.
so
Like it's
many
got to be.
toxins.
Yeah, I can eat it by itself.
It's
I don't-
it's literally the organ.
disgusting.
It's literally the organ that processes all of the like toxic shit out of your system.
I think I'd get rid of my possessions.
Yeah.
Because
So
if
would-
it's not
would you-
counting what's in your bank account, which trust me is not a lot, if it doesn't count that, then at least I feel like I could buy a majority of my stuff back.
Bro,
I'm
you'd
not
have
going to
to-
go black.
You'd have to sell your PS5, and you're not getting that back anytime soon with the
That's
shortages.
fine, mate. I wouldn't be getting my liver back, would I? So I'm not going to buy one back after the fact.
Do you get paid for the donation
What do you mean?
of like your liver or your kidney?
Of course you do. Well, I mean, if you give your kidney away, just imagine it's like a backstreet surgery. And
Yeah,
yeah,
let's
you
say it
sell it
was
on the
like-
black market.
What? So if you're getting rid of one of your organs, you're getting peas for it.
Yeah, of course.
But then if
Yeah.
you're getting rid of your possessions, you don't get the money for it. They
you're
just
getting the value
disappear.
of what all your possessions
Yeah.
cost.
And you don't lose a
What?
kidney.
Of course I'm going to sell my possessions because then I get more money.
Kidneys are worth a lot of money, though, aren't they? Or certain
I think
organs.
so. Right. Let's do a hypothetical. Right. You keep all your possessions. You don't lose any of your organs. You stay intact. You don't have to deal with like recovering from the surgery,
Mhm.
any complications and blood clots, things like that. Or
Blood clot.
the person that your kidney is going to is like a prince in Saudi Arabia, and you're the only like blood type match in the world, and they're like, oh, we're gonna give you like the cost of a kidney is like, I don't know, let's say it's like 200 grand. They'll be like, we're gonna give you $1 million instead.
Okay, so the real question is, would you sell your
This
kidney for
reminds
$1
me of
million?
you ever
That's
seen
the
the
question,
the
isn't
Rick
it?
and Morty episode where the Jerry gets like approached by this like alien overlord, and he's like, "You are a compatible person. I would like your penis." And there's like, but and he
that
says,
with the voice
"Would
break
you?
as well?"
Would you?
Your
with the
penis.
But yeah, and he's but and
Nearly
then he's
just
like,
choked.
yeah, we would. Would you want to donate this and save this guy, and you'd be doing the galaxy a massive favor? And then the guy comes in, and he's like, no, why would humans donate their penis? This whole society is based off penises. Great. Sorry, it just reminded me of that.
So what? Get rid of a kidney for $1 million?
Yeah.
That's practically what the
Yeah.
question
So
was.
would you rather sell your possessions and have nothing, or would you rather get $1 million and still be able to live and just have a bit?
Why
of
does it
pain
have to be a
for while?
kidney though? Why can't it be something else?
It doesn't.
Do you want to give up a lung? Like you can live on half a lung, but
I can't.
Yeah.
None of us can. It's called smoke breaks. Like we'd be fucked.
Yeah. It's like I feel like the kidney is the easiest thing, because like if you like you'd not be able to drink as much, but if it was your liver,
I'm keeping my things like.
yeah, like if it was an eye, that's really disadvantageous. I'm not sure if you're legally allowed to drive.
I need to keep them for all the damage that I plan to provide them with.
Yeah.
I'd rather be healthy and happy.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And poor.
What's fucking wrong with that?
I want to be
No, that's-
happy.
I agree with them with that. But I'd like the milli, but
Yeah.
I'd rather not get rid of any of my organs. I feel like that wouldn't be fun
All right.
or ideal for the whole future.
Well, I'm getting a mill, so I'll see you boys later.
Spend that meal quickly as your body slowly quickly diminishes.
Yeah. You got any more?
Any more for any more?
All right, this is kind of on the topic of money, I guess. So, would you rather be poor and be able to help everybody, like everybody in the world, or be rich and not help anyone whatsoever?
It's quite a hard question because on the first hand, is that you're able to like heal people?
Like Jesus.
I feel like it's more
Like,
of a
are you
mon-
able to just go, you are healed, and
Oh, I
any
guess-
type
I
of
guess,
illness you have, or are you able to just find a solution to any person's problem?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Like you
I'm-
can
I'm
just find a
guessing, yeah,
solution
so,
to anything.
So if you have all the money in the world that could help people, but you can't help people
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of problems could probably be solved by money, or the other way around, like you're on like minimum wage your entire life, but you know people are going through like hard struggles. You can like help them with therapy, shit like that, like help them resolve their issues.
Yeah.
Because I think that'd be really satisfying.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think with the second one because obviously if you've got loads of money, if you're spending it somewhere, you're technically helping somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking technicalities, but I'm like, if you're spending fucking 10 grand at an expensive restaurant, you're helping them keep the lights on and support and pay the wages and
But you
stuff.
have millions
I
of
guess-
Chinese sweatshop workers
Yeah.
working endless hours for you. And they won't be getting like a penny or a shilling.
This sounds like a grudge, bro. Are you alright?
Calls out Jeff Bezos. Nah, I don't know. Well, I feel like I'd be happy to help everyone. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like the
more-
poor part would really hinder how much you could help people. Because it's like if you say you wanted to go to Africa and go try do something over there, help with AIDS or something like that,
to get donations.
I guess you get donations, but you got to stay poor, don't you? That's kind of part of it.
Almost like UNICEF, but it's like guaranteed what they do is going to like resolve all the
If
problems
you're able to take
forever.
donations and stuff like that, then I think the first one is kind of a no-brainer because then you're
Yeah, 'cause
actually
then flights
able
and
to
everything's paid
fulfill
for.
everything. You're able, able to help everybody.
So, help everyone. You.
Kyle's taking a ban, isn't he? Like,
I mean, I like money.
I like money. Okay.
I feel like the satisfaction of
He's being
being
honest.
able to solve everyone's
Yeah.
problems would probably make money, not an object. Because it's like, it's the notorious BIG thing, isn't it? More money, more problems. And you've always got the people being like, oh, if Jeff Bezos sold all of his shares in Amazon, we'd be able to solve world hunger. And
But
it's
I
like,
think when he's alluding to more money, more problems, I think most of those problems are with people wanting, whether it's family members
Yeah.
asking for money, friends, people that you've done business with doing you dirty. Like none of that would occur because you wouldn't be able to help anybody. So
Yeah.
you can't just give like your money to your family or stuff like that.
It's like the whole if a snail is across the world and you have to run away from a snail for your entire life. It's like if you helped a person, you just die. I feel like that would be kind of like the contract agreement if you did it with the devil or something like that. If you give money to someone and you help someone, you die straight away.
I do really like the concept of that question with the snail. Like I've heard it and I've never been quite sure with
oh,
it. Do you know
is
where
that
it's
the one
like,
where, like
it's
if
a snail where if it touches you at any
you die,
point, you
but it knows
automatically
where you
die.
are and it's constantly trying to find you.
So you could take a flight and it might take it 6 months to get to you, but it is always on your tail
Yeah.
wherever you go on the planet. So you're constantly going to be. I don't think I'll be able to sleep most of the time. Like even if I've just flown from one side of the world to the other, and I know statistically it couldn't be here by now.
Put a tracker on it. Get someone else to put a tracker on it.
Yeah.
And then
But the thing is, that you'd have to find it
Dog
and know
collar on
where
it.
it is, and how do you differentiate?
Could you put a box over it?
I don't know, make it maybe it's like
Put
rainbow
box on it.
I
coloured.
think it's
that
one
one.
of those where you just couldn't interfere with its
Yeah.
its plans. I feel like
You-
even if you put a box over it, it's still trying to get to you. So it might take a week, but it's going to break a hole through the box or something.
Isn't it like
that.
you have all the riches as well? You're like super rich as
I
well.
think it's
yeah.
there's normally a question of just like you get like 10 mil or something like that. Would you do this or whatever? I don't know whether I'd do that for 10 mil.
Just go live somewhere where it's like, either way too hot and it would dry out and die.
Nah,
because this
it
is
can't.
like
This
an
is
an
immortal-
impenetrable.
It's an immortal
yeah,
snail.
This is
An immortal snail.
Yeah, this is king of all snails.
King of the castle.
Yeah,
I'm the king of the castle.
yeah. So it's nothing affects it. It can't get stood on by somebody else and killed because that'd be way too easy.
Yeah. I think the immortal thing throws out a bit.
I'm
Like
immortal.
10 mil, you could do a lot with 10 mil. You could make like a house that's airtight.
Yeah.
So as long as you're in the house, you're sound.
Nah, it can find a way in. That's the. He's trying to think of
It's still
stipulations.
fucking
You've had
God.
the question. Yes, it is. If there's
snail is
if there's
God.
literally no gap to get into your house, it shapeshifts into your gap. That's
But how does it shapeshift if it can't get in? Because shapeshifting is just like being able to bend around and like go
it
through
just
like
goes
gaps in the wall.
yeet, and then it just disappears and appears on the
Ah,
other side
you
of the
see,
wall.
now
in the
you've said
gap.
it like that. If the snail can yeet its way into anything, I might not take the money.
Did you not hear that stipulation?
yeah, it's immortal, and it can just say yeet.
You're lying in your bed. No, it's like
you just hear in the distance like yeet.
You're like shit. It's like, have you played like prop hunt before or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know every 30 seconds it has a little. It's like that. It's like that. Every 10 minutes it has to go. It just screams.
Yeet.
According to Google, it would take a snail 34,519 days to travel around the world. So
What's that in years?
that's a
I'm trying to work out
That's
in my
like
head.
97 years ish.
But the thing is, if you try to go to the furthest point of it, there's going to be only halfway.
94
around the
years.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah.
No, quick maths.
world. Yeah.
But 94 years. Yeah, so you'd be dead by the time. No.
But bear in mind, you're like not really going to be all the way around the world. You're going to be more like halfway around the world, quarter
And it's
of the
always
way.
going to be going the fastest way possible. Like if there's a plane that's about to go to a country closer to it, it will get its way onto the plane, which will save it a lot of time. Like
Fucking genius,
this,
man.
This
This
snail's
snail's a
far,
fucking
bro.
snail,
is
man.
fucking
Snail
Jason
is-
Bourne.
This snail is OP.
Do you know
man.
what? I take the money. I think it's worth the risk. It's the
It'd
thrill,
be a fun
thrill of
just
the
to
thrill of the
chase,
chase.
Just a film's called Yeet. And it's just you dark at night, just like opening your doors. You think it's going to be a jump scare, and it's just a snail on the floor.
It's just-
Yeet.
The trailer for that is like you get up in the middle of the night, you turn the light on, and you just see like the slime
Yeah,
from the
slime
snail, and you're
trailer.
like,
Oh, it's like a horror film.
Yeet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go taking the money for that
I
one.
feel like it'd be quite fun.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah. Fuck it.
What a story.
It'd be constant life of anxiety because you're just like any second.
the snail
I'm
has
out
you
of it.
cornered, and you're just like, hey,
Hey,
look
come
at
on,
us.
Let's find this out.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah,
Not me.
Yeet.
just leaps at you. Having a fist fight with a snail.
I mean, would it be one of those big bulbous snails though, like Gary from the SpongeBob or something?
If you describe anything as bulbous, I cannot take it seriously. But then
Alright.
again, if it's yeeting and
Yeah.
it's bulbous, that's intimidating as fuck.
That's some good questions today so far.
Yeah.
Has anyone got any more?
I don't think so. No.
No.
I've got some lined up for next week because I think rather than being sound waves, I think we're going to turn into more of
Video.
yeah, just just visual waves.
Yeah, we might add some cameras, is what he's trying to say in simpler terms.
Yeah.
You might see our faces.
Yeah.
So this might be where you want to start watching.
Yeah. Yeah. The big reveal coming soon. I don't know when we're gonna record the next episode. We're quite inconsistent.
Weekly
with this
style
shit.
because we're very consistent.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. New year,
we
new
went
us.
episode 3, episode 4, episode 1, episode 2.
Yeah.
That's how you light it up on the YouTube.
Yeah. So episode 7 coming before episode 5.
Keep you on your toes. Let's just do an episode 100 special.
Next year is the best clips. And it's literally just a liquor. I barely knew her.
It's just a TikTok.
Yeah, yeet snails.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you have any suggestions for albums for us to talk about that coming out, we could obviously take a listen to it before the episode and mention
Yeah.
it. any topics that you think are
Any questions? Send
spicy
us a DM on Instagram at Smoke Breaks Podcast, and we're more than happy to give you an answer. Anything, literally anything.
yeah.
We're more than happy to talk about it.
Mhm.
That can't get us demonetized.
Yes.
Yeah.
That can't get us demonetized.
I mean, to be fair, we're already demonetized anyway, so we don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that.
So also leave a comment if you don't have Instagram. And I guess that about wraps it up.
Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and
And go listen to Gravy.
yeah, listen to
Oh, yeah.
Gravy.
Link in the
Another
description.
shameless plug.
Yeah, yeet.
Yeah, yeet.
Okay, bye.